Alright, hello everyone, welcome again. So the last video was about, I did some, well, what do we call 3D graphic design now? Anyways, we rendered some circles, and I promised this time we were just gonna model a nice looking, as you can see, a good looking football table. I think that's what we call it in English, I suppose. And yeah, it's gonna be high poly modeling, then maybe next time low poly. Yeah, I think let's do it high poly modeling. It's gonna be more interesting. And yeah, to learn the topology, to make a good topology, great modeling, and so on. So without wasting time, let's just start. And as you can see, I have a bunch of references, and the first thing I want to do is to get all these dimensions. And feel free to write anything in the chat, any question. I'll check on it as we go. So what I like to do is add a cube, or start with a plane, and press E to extrude. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to enable the shortcut viewer in the center, green and light gray. There you go, now you can see it here. Great. So I have this cube, and I want to make it less visible. So I'm just gonna display it as bounds. Excuse me. Alright. My throat is really bad. Okay. Well, I had COVID this week, and I hope I'll get better soon. It's not really bad though. So as you can see, this is inches. So the unit is inches. So let's change it from here. Units from metric to imperial. No feet. We need inches. There you go. Now we're in item. Is that item? Yeah. Now we can change the dimension. So the depth is usually is Y. No, it's X. Almost close. So 73. Agree. And the height Z. 34. And what else? 34. I got this. The y-axis. So 57.75. Doesn't really need to be. You know what? Forget about these decimals. We're good. We are good. Just gonna indicate should display as normal. Just gonna move these. Very interesting. So we can use Symmetry. I recommend use a mirror modifier and use Y and X. I like to use a shortcut. I have the Addon MachineTools. It's free, by the way, and I prefer it more than more than using the mirror. But just for the video, I'm just gonna use mirror, or only this one. I usually use the add-on. I also like to use matcap, and I have my own matcaps. I like this one. There you go. Alright, just checking something. Good. So I'm just eyeballing this. So how wide is this? You know what, you can use mirror. I'm really not used to it. So if you don't have the add-on, just use mirror normal, as I showed you. Let's add another edge loop here. This is for this edge. Just mirror it this way. Hold Alt, click, and yeah. Let's leave it there. This is a little bit too wide. This will do. Okay. So this is a little bit, we have an angle, so it's not really a perfect, not cube, but yeah, so we need to move the edges, these ones. But let's see the image from another angle. So I think it's only from this side has a, yeah, so this should be flat, not like this one. Yep. So let's move these edges, like so. Mirror, you don't have to worry about it if you have the mirror modifier. Okay. So should I extrude this or just delete all the faces? Probably just delete the faces, or maybe isolate it. P, now we isolate it. Move this down. So let's fill this. Press F. There you go. Yeah, so I think the dimensions are not accurate because I didn't pay attention to these. Yeah, so I do think we should move these edges here. Let's select both of these objects and select all the vertices, move them inside. Yeah, I'm really unsure how to, or yeah, includes playing or words. Well, that's bad. I wish we had more. That's fine. I don't think we should worry about this too much. Okay. So they are wide, and yeah, I don't know if this makes any sense. Okay. Great. Should have probably used the an add-on. Forgot the name of the add-on. Let me check. Excuse me. FSpy. Yeah, the add-on is called FSpy. Very interesting add-on. just add some lines, and then you'll get yeah, you'll get the correct perspective and stuff like that. I think we're good with this. Cool. Alright, so as you can see, this is a separate piece of wood, I suggest. And we have this piece of wood also, I think we should make separate. And yeah, so it's not really flat from here to there. So let's add edge loop, like so. Select all these edges, move them. So I want to snap it so it matches the same position as these on the top. And this way just enable vertex snapping. We don't need to enable it here, just hold Control while moving this. So move, hold Control, and snap it to this point. Now it's aligned correctly. Okay, symmetry. So let's separate this wood. Yeah, why not select everything? P. Let's separate. Oop, forgot this one. Yeah, I think the color of this matte cap does not really help us. So let me just change this to this nice looking gray matte cap. Separate this part. Now we can build it, pressing F. There is an add-on called, I think it's called F2. So it helps to build geometry. For example, click here, press F, it fills. So, but I still am using the Machine add-on, MachineTool add-on. And yeah, just basically press 4 and just builds the geometry very well. Or you can select all these loops and press grid fill. Search for grid fill. Good. Now this part is done. Now we're done with this piece of wood. Yeah, I do think this should come down a little bit. Actually, everything here. All these vertices, move them down. And then we have this extra wood here. This should work fine. I also want to move this more side. Great. So do symmetry to this guy. And now let's Hi Zaki. Alhamdulillah. انت لاباس زكي؟ So let's carry on. So I do notice that this wood is a separate piece, and then we have this very tall wood. It's very short, and yeah, let's do it. So we should just separate these guys here. Press P, and let's grid fill. Oh, not grid fill, let's just press F. And just release, pressing the right click button, and then do the same. And here I'm just going to use the add-on as I told you. I don't need to mention this every time. So I'm just going to press 4. Oop, no, well, it doesn't work really well here. So let's just select this vertex and fill. There you go. Honestly, this is one of the best add-ons, the MachineTool add-on. it's amazing, and I really recommend to use it. Especially it's free. There is a also a paid version, which has also some great features. Let me just check the chat. Hi, good stream. What do you think about open shading language? Does it have a future, and is it worth spending time studying it? I really didn't give it a try, honestly. I know that, or I think Unreal Engine has. You can use that language in Unreal Engine, and I mean, maybe it would be great to open shading language. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to, but there is a shading language. I forgot the name. Really forgot about it. It's been a long time since I tried a shading language, but never really did something with it. So yeah, I have no idea. Hi John. The add-on is such a lifesaver. Yeah, absolutely. It is. And also the Mesh Machine add-on is also on another level. I really appreciate the guy who makes these add-ons. So as I said, the open shading language, no idea, man. Honestly, forgot about it. I assume you mean in game engines. You wanna do some shading in game engines, but about probably need to make research about it. So let's carry on. Whoopsie. So now we have this part. Obviously it looks very bad. What we will do later is add some support loops here and here, or there's a better way, just bevel, add 2 edges, and then we can press P. Then when you press P, you can just drag outside. Then you have all these edge loops added correctly, or maybe not. One thing I should have done is Control A and apply scale, and then I probably need to remove this edge here. Select everything, Control B to bevel. There you go. Now it looks good. Subdivide, shade smooth. Probably add more support loops here. Just symmetry there. Go. Well, this is good for high poly modeling. You get some nice edges here. And yeah, let's do the same for this. Alright, sorry for this. Just had a small talk with my brother. Okay. So, yes, add subdivision to this one. Control A, apply scale. Add support loops. Like so. And another support loops probably in the middle. Oh well. shade smooth. Another one here. And symmetry. Alright. Okay. So let's do symmetry to this guy here. And yeah. What do we have here? So the next part, probably the legs. Yeah, let's do the legs. Really interesting. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. This is a much better reference image. Okay, so this part looks like it's separate and welded. Let's see. Well, probably before we do the legs, let's add this extra part here, extra part of wood. Okay, so we're just gonna extrude it, or maybe no, let's duplicate these. Should scale them out, separate, and move these vertices here in the front. Symmetry, extrude again, and I think move this down a little bit. Okay, and move these like so. It's not accurate, but I think it's good enough. Hi, Game ER. Welcome. John Amokwe. Okay, it's hard to pronounce the second name. Amokwaya. The leg's gonna be fun to watch, absolutely. Yeah. It's gonna be fun to make as well for me. And let's start, since we finished this part. So I think we can start just by duplicating this face. Oh, come on, excuse me for a sec. Alright, so as you can see, I'm just duplicating faces and just press P to separate them. But the add-on called, again, MachineTools, you just click the face and just select the face. Press 4, then you have this as a separate part already, no need to press P or anything. So we do have some space here, so scale on the x-axis, like so. Let's move these vertices here. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing this. It's hard to do everything without any without dimensions, but I think it's fine. So let's extrude all the way down. So one thing I noticed is that, well, in other projects, that I can't snap in this when I turn this into a here. Let me just show you. So I changed the visibility, the viewport display to as bounds, and it doesn't let me snap the vertices to this point. So it's gonna turn this to wire, and now I can snap it perfectly. Or we could just type in 0 here. That's just something to notice, something I noticed. Right. Alright. So that's support loops here. I want to keep it very low in topology, because I will add, oh well, 1, 2, 3, we have 3 parts here. Yeah. Because I don't want to get lost in the topology. I just want to keep it very simple. So when I add the subsurf modifier, it's going to be it's going to do the job. Not sure, but it seems like, yeah, it's not straight down. There's a slight angle here. Let's see the other reference images. Yeah, probably we do have an angle. Okay, so we could just move these edges. We do have an add-on that is awesome. Lets you rotate these vertices, but it's a paid version of the machine tool. So another way is to just move one vertex, like so, and select all these, then press or search for the loop tools. It's an add-on that comes with Blender, you just have to enable it. And we have this G stretch. I do have a shortcut for this. Let me just do the shortcut. The edges do move away from the original position, but when I select spread here, it's gonna stay the exact place. All right. Okay, let's move these vertices. So, just check the chat. HMLM, I think you can use the shear tool. Yeah, exactly. The shear tool does the same as well. And the shortcut is, I think, is really, really weird. I think the shortcut is Control Shift Alt S. Yeah, there you go. Control Shift Alt S. And yeah, I think it is the default shortcut. Very weird though why they chose this one. I mean, Blender is already filled with shortcuts. Okay, doesn't really matter though. I press double G, move these down, like so. Let me just add subsurf modifier. I do want to come here and keep corners. Let's see how the topology looks like. Or okay. Alright. There's symmetry here on all the sides. And it doesn't really come out too much, so I do want to apply it because I do have all the basic shape here. This is what I think is hard to achieve with many edges with the high poly model. So that's why I kept it very simple, so I can achieve this smooth result. But the rest should be fine and easy to make, only with yeah, so let's apply this. Control A. Oh, actually one more time. Control Z. Like so. Now I'm just gonna probably move this edge up, or this one down. Like so. think what I should add Solidify Modifier. It looks very thin here, but then on this side it's thick, so I do assume I should extrude this way. And yeah, I think this part is a little bit too much. Okay, so let's move it outside like so. Symmetry. Perfect. Jonah, why am I calling him Jonah? Okay, John, what was the duplication just now? What duplication? If you can explain more. I press Shift D to duplicate, if that's what you're referring to. If you can explain more. Press E, F. Basically, if you want to duplicate anything in Blender, you just press Shift D, whether you are in edit mode or object mode. Basically the same. Or are you talking about how I add symmetry or mirror this way? Well, this is the add-on that I kept talking about for the last minute. The legs. You're talking about the legs. So yeah, just if you're talking about this add-on here, what I'm doing now, it's an add-on called the MachineTools, and just search and you find it. It's free. There is a paid version that has some extra tools. Alright. Ooh, okay, now I understand. So my bad. Okay. Yeah, so this is coming inwards, and I made a mistake. I thought it was going outwards. That's fine. We'll find a way to deal with it. Let me just select all these faces. P and separate this. John Amokwaya. Definitely need to get that add-on. Absolutely, yeah. Honestly, since I got this add-on, I just can't stop using it. It has a lot of tools that, especially modeling tools. Well, that's what it contains. It has a lot of modeling tools that are really essential, I think, and find it very useful. I'm just separating these parts here, and I should delete all these faces here as well. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't think this is what happens when you don't understand the object or the model. The reference image. Alright, just symmetry like so. Alright, so these parts are not connected, but Seems like they are welded, but it's really not something that important. So I do think we could just keep them connected. Let me just press V and select this edge, press V, so we separate this part. Press L to select. As you can see, it's not connected here nor there. Press B to separate this. I'm just gonna add Solidify Modifier to this. Make sure it's in the positive side. And there you go. This one as well. Just join them. And probably flip the norms. Yeah, let's flip the norms here. Let's join these parts as well. And yeah, the normals are fine. So another thing, I'm just going to enable even thickness. Doesn't really look good. Let's keep it separate. Let's see what we have here. Solidify modifier. 1. Even thickness. And let's see. Cute. Let's build this. So. Just pressing 4 to build the geometry. Perfect. That looks way better. Symmetry. Again. Let's see. Should join them together. Even thickness. There you go. Apply scale. Looks good. Perfect. All right. All right. So let's deal with the holes here. We have 3 of those. And let's see. We could have just separated this part, so yeah, let's just separate this part. So I can isolate this and then deal with all the... I have no idea how many faces I have here. So let's see, 20 faces. If I had 21, it makes sense. So I have just a small space here. So let's delete this and keep these selected. Delete these. Keep these. And delete these 2. And those. So I think this should work fine. Doesn't really need to be accurate. Delete all the faces. Q, add a subsurf modifier. I'll just move it before the solidify. I also want to keep things, keep the corners. And let's see. As you can see, we already have these clean shapes here, clean curve. And if we add more level to it, looks smoother. But I do need support loops here. Like so. The other support loops here. make sure it's even. But before I do so, just want to make sure everything is correct. So let's disable this. You should select these edges or vertices, scale them in the z-axis, smooth these. I noticed that these this distance is larger than here, so I do want to make it even. Let's see what we can do. Select all these, press double G, press E and F, and now we have clean, or it's even. Yep, there you go. Hi Diosatra, welcome to the stream. By the way, I want to ask everyone in the chat whether they watch my channel for the first time, or or do you guys usually watch my Inkscape tutorial, or just watch Blender? I'm really curious. Let me know in the chat. All right. So. Okay, so I do want to move these, and I don't want to move this one, because if I move it, I'll get a very bad curve. It's going to destroy the topology basically. So I'm just going to move this one inside, because I want to have even results. So let's keep it this way, like so. I'll move this one side. So basically I'm gonna make this one look good here, but at the same time preserve what's outside. Well, this is a flat surface, so it doesn't really change anything even if I move these. But this one is a curve. Hope this makes sense. And also don't want to add any edge loop, or maybe I could also add just the edge here, but I want to add set flow, which is an add-on you can download for free. Just click set flow, and this basically select an edge and do set flow, like so. Makes things smoother. That could work as well. H Mellum, that was cool. Thanks, man. Thanks. That's a okay. Smooth these edges up, and let's see. Now let's enable the Solidify Modifier, and let's see the results. Looks good. Probably we need to move these edges a little bit closer. These vertices I meant. Always mix between vertices and edges to make it maybe sharper. It's not really accurate as when you use bevel modifier, but it just should work good, especially when you model for high poly modeling. Good, good, good. All right. I think we're done with the legs, or at least with this part. Just gonna save before I lose everything. Let's enable the Solidify Modifier. It's a little bit too thick, so let's turn this down a little bit. 0.8 degree. Alright, let's see what we have. Symmetry to everybody. Great. Alright. I think we should probably make the screws, even though I do have some... I did model the nuts and bolts, I think that's what you call it. It's really interesting to model them. Let's just model the most important parts. Let's do this one here. Yeah, let's do it. Well, this time I think we should start with these parts inside. These parts here. Is that a plane? Just rotate this 90 degrees or minus 90 degrees. Let's move these vertices right here. And like, oopsie, like so. Scale in the z-axis and well, these parts here are smaller than the one in the middle. Scale z-axis. Good. And now it's bevel. Let's use 3, and we should definitely take this back to 0.5, like so. Let's lower this down a little bit. Alright, perfect. Okay. Let's duplicate this right here and make this one. We should another reference image from the side. So these are closer, probably, and this should be, yeah. Maybe I should scale this up a little bit, and then move this. Yep. Really odd. Let's move this like so. Alright, so well, I took another approach, a different approach, because I wanted to have a good shape here in the sides. Let me just press Alt and double click, press E to extrude, scale, in the Z-axis as well, and do the same for this guy. E, scale, Z-axis. Just gonna bridge these, bridge, and bridge again, symmetry, delete inside faces, and then let's see. Let's make it this flat till here. So scale in the Z-axis 0. There you go. Let's move this like so. This down. Okay. I could use symmetry. Yeah, let's use symmetry. So I'm just gonna move the origin point. Wait a second. Let's add a loop here. So now this is the middle, and I'm just gonna move the origin point and the Z-axis to the middle. Let's just symmetry this. Now this is flat as well, and symmetry on this side as well. To move the origin, I use the shortcut, but you can move the origin from this one. Just select this, and then you can move the origin. John said, self-taught or you got to college to learn 3D? No, absolutely not. I learned everything online. And I give most of the credits most of the credits to Aramis 3D. Aramis 3D. He's a great 3D modeler, or a great teacher as well. I learned a lot of things. Even though he uses 3ds Max, you can learn many things from him. And yeah, I really appreciate his the knowledge that he shared. Also, the other Blender tutorials, many. I used to use 3ds Max before Blender, and that's why I was learning from Aramis. Aramis is also doing Blender tutorials now, which is amazing. So I definitely recommend you watch Aramis 3D. And also all the others, the other guys, the YouTube. Of course, I did not learn everything from YouTube. I do also a lot of research. If I'm stuck in anything, I just make a quick research, Google search, and you basically find anything in the websites. And okay, so let's do symmetry here. And well, this part is I think it's behind, yeah, it's behind this, and it's also let's move it close to this. It's not really accurate, is it? Yeah. So I want to make sure it's accurate. So I'm just gonna select one face of these, like so, and let's do this. Select all these faces, or only the ones that I have here. Yeah. Okay, so select this face. Make sure I'm looking at it straight, and then change to this. I'm just gonna scale in the view, the z-axis. So scale z0. Now it should be exactly, yeah, perfect. I'm just gonna move it and snap it to a point, like so. That's symmetry. Oh, just apply. Right. Whoops. Yeah, I should. Okay, just move this back. Symmetry. There you go. Control A, apply a transformation, and symmetry. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at this face exactly at the normal, and I did a shortcut to it, but it's basically it's like when you do the view in the numpad, but just using the normal of the geometry. So now if I look exactly at this face, I can duplicate and move it here. Let's use the view. Now I can move it exactly down here. Where is it? Let's move it down, like so, and without worrying about the angle. So yeah, so I didn't have to worry about when I move it here in this axis. It just doesn't follow. I could also use the normal axis, probably should work as well. Yeah, should work fine. Alright. Oops. Let's move this inside. Symmetry, and add Solidify Modifier. It is thick, yeah, or it's not, maybe it's not, yeah. So it's thin, yeah, but I have to move all these, or extrude all these edges. These. Let me see, what can we do? Just extrude like so. Alt S. Perfect. I'm just gonna delete all these faces here inside. Like so. Oops. Delete all these faces. And symmetry again. Maybe, yeah, I should have deleted, yeah, these here in the back. Or maybe they are connected, I think. But they are. So I'll select these and delete all these faces. Press L. Oh yeah. This one. Like so. All right. Oh no, just deleted the whole thing. Well, that wasn't smart, was it? You know what, let's keep it simple and just afraid if I just make a huge mistake here. Okay, let me just extrude. Let's isolate so I can see what's going on. Okay, edges, extrude. Perfect. Yeah. And build geometry. Alright. I always need to check whether I have any flipped faces, but since I'm using Solidify Modifier, this should just fix everything. So if I enable the flipped faces, yeah, actually it does affect the Solidify Modifier, so because it's flipped, it's mixed. So press Shift N to recalculate normals. Let's just mirror this. Great. Great, so let's do some other parts. Hope you guys didn't get bored, because I did a little bit. You know, 3D modeling requires a little bit of, requires you to be a little bit patient, I think. But yeah, that's what we should train to be, you know, learn how to be patient while modeling. I'm just gonna separate this by P, because I don't want to keep it attached. Okay, now we have this piece of wood, and well, yeah, let's extrude this inwards. Shift N to flip the faces. There you go. And let's separate this one as well. P. So we are now left with this. So I'll definitely keep this, maybe we need this. But for now, I think I should move this edge inside, because I don't want them to overlap each other. And certainly want to hide this, let's hide this. So let's extrude this one. Let's give it to global. Move this one like so. And select all the faces or edges. Shift N to, I thought this would... Just click Control Z. Alright. Okay. I'm just gonna extrude this. I think I should select faces. I have no idea why extrude is not working correctly. Just weld everything. Yep. Now extrude. There you go. I'm still using normals. So I just want to use global. Yeah, I think I accidentally enabled this. Okay. Cool. Alright. Well, this part should be interesting, I suggest. So let's do this one. I'm just gonna select these faces. Shift D, scale them down. Scale the x-axis. And let's move this outside. This down a little bit. Snap it here. Alright. Just definitely want to separate this one. As a separate piece. Alright. It's not really far away. So it should be closer. And it has thickness to it. Or maybe it... Oops. Like so. Let's move this up. There you go. I'm just gonna extrude. Let's move this inside a little bit. Extrude. And... or maybe before extrude. So make sure I have a hole inside it. So how can we apply this? Just subdivide this multiple times, or maybe one time? Yes, one time should be enough. Or maybe more. Okay. Just gonna select these. Alt Shift D to make it a circle. Before I do so, I want to make sure I apply the scale so I can have a great circle. So just go to Loop Tools, and I have added a shortcut, circle. Yeah, there is a difference. So you always have to apply scale before you change anything. Just scale this up. Okay. Well, I do think it's not enough topology, so let's use more faces. Yeah, let's inset, scale this down, Alt Shift D, and see some other reference images. Yeah, so there you go, this one is good. The distance is small from the top and larger here. You have good distance from this perspective, from this view. Okay. Let's move these edges or faces as well. Just scale this. So, symmetry, yeah, symmetry. And just align these correctly using the G stretch. But I do think, yeah, I really hate this type of topology. So what I like to do is do this, and just do the same here. Perfect. Probably as well, or maybe not. Let's keep it like so. All right, and let's do this. Yeah. Just fixing the topology here. I don't have any triangles. And come on. Just can't get rid of these edges. Swelled. Odd. I think I just filled them. Mistake. Yeah, I did a mistake here. Great. There you go. Probably do the same thing here. Comment from John. Seeing how you make holes in geometry is definitely better than me just bool tooling every hole. Yeah, I agree. Well, you could use boolean. Boolean would be great if you had a great remeshing tool like Quad Remesher, I guess. It's a great tool that even if you use boolean, you just press a button that says Quad Remesh and you just get a very good topology. I've had it for a couple of 3 months. Can get it for 3 months for $20, but I felt like I didn't use it that much, and I hate subscription. There is though a perpetual license, like lifetime license, but it's a little bit expensive, I guess. Well, the tool is worth it, but $110 is a little bit too much, at least for me, especially if I don't use it that much. But I do think of buying it sometimes, probably in the future. It's good to invest, especially if you make money modeling. If you make money 3D, so it's worth investing in what you make money in. Whoops. There you go. It's also a lot time consuming, I guess, when you try to model everything. With Boolean, it seems to be a lot faster, and sometimes especially if you have if you do some work that doesn't need any clean topology, like if you're rendering something and you're not giving the model to anybody, just doing some rendering and for some people, that doesn't really require any clean topology, then Boolean may work for you, especially there are some shading tricks that can add bevel to your geometry without any edge crease, like I'm doing, without worrying about the topology. You can add bevel. Here in the shading, I suppose it's called bevel. Works with Eevee. I'm not sure if you just add it directly or you need a normal map. No, I think we just plug it directly. Right. Excuse me. Okay. There you go, this part is done. I should consider making this plastic here. Okay. So let's just duplicate these. Control plus to select all the edges that are close to what I'm selecting. Shift D, duplicate. B to separate. Okay, now let's select all these edges, and let's see what we can do. Okay, what can we do here? So I want to make this one coming outside, and or maybe just let's see. Just scale this out. Scale the Z. It's not accurate, and that's why I'm just going to select all these faces here and just isolate this so we can understand the shape. Added auto smooth. You can add auto smooth if you auto smooth. If you want to have sharp lines and smooth here. So now I'm just going to select these faces and press I, which is inset, and let's see, until I get this shape. So now I'm just gonna select these extra faces that I don't need and add a Solidify modifier. I do want the Solidify modifier to go outside, not inside, so offset should be 1, and the thickness value should be lower. Alright, so that edge loop here, and another, well, what can we add here? Let's see how this looks if we enable. Looks cool, I like it, and should move this inside a little bit. There you go. You have nice smooth bevel. Can make it sharper by moving this loop inside, like so. Alright, probably add another edge support here. Let's have this part is done. Though the only problem is that I wasn't really accurate with these distance here, so scale everything. I don't want to scale it to the can we do this? No? Don't like this as well. Let's select the geometry then. The faces. And scale them. And now let me just select this part. Let's move these vertices. Symmetry. And symmetry here. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Oh, I'm a little bit tired, but right now I usually take rest every 25 minutes. This is too much. So I drink a cup of water. Okay. Whoa. Good. So we want to make this part, and to do that, just get some edges from here. Let's disable this so I can select these faces. There you go. Shift D, press P to separate, and then extrude. And there you go. I have no idea how it looks from the bottom, but let me just snap it to this edge or vertex. Alright, so definitely need the support loops here, like so. All right. Okay. Okay. So again, add some support loops. I think I should have just, yeah, I don't think, well, since I made it, just keep it. I don't want to remake this. Let's move this right here. Okay, guys, my symmetry, add symmetry, get an edge loop inside here and here. Symmetry. H. Mellum, gonna have to go to sleep here. Definitely gonna going to watch the rest tomorrow. Thank you for your content. Bye. Thanks, Mellon. Thank you for joining, and you're most welcome. I'm gonna make a lot of new daily live stream, hopefully. So I hope you're gonna enjoy the rest of the live stream. Well, if I stay alive, of course. All right. Well, have a nice day. I mean, good night. That's what I should say. And we have in the chat, there's a Russian name. I have no idea how to pronounce this. And it says vum.ong. I have no idea what that means. Am I missing something? Is this a short of? Please explain more. I hope you're not trolling me. Anyways, let's carry on with the modeling. I think I added all the necessary edge loops. Yeah, I think that's all good. Well, maybe one here. Yeah, there you go. That would do. Yeah, that's it. Done. I shouldn't have done it this way, honestly, because that's fine. I think it's good. Can be good. Anyways, let's do some other interesting parts. Let's see. So probably this one, very easy. So obviously this whole model, I mean this whole thing, this tennis table, really, this football table, that's what I meant, is simple. So you basically have some very simple shapes: cylinder, cube, hexagon, and rectangle, cylinders. Very easy to make, and you just focus, try to understand what are the basic shapes that you have here, for example. So we have cylinder, we do have a screw that we will model later, but let's focus on the other parts. We have this rectangle shape, so let's start with the rectangle shape. And instead of using plane every time, I'm just gonna duplicate this. Press 4. I'm using again the add-on, makes everything easy. And select these vertices. Let's see another reference image. Okay. Okay, it's in the middle, so let's move it in the middle. Eyeball it, and I think we're good. See from a different angle. Okay. So let's extrude upwards. Let's disable the subs of modifier at auto smooth. Looks better. We can understand the geometry. It's easy on the eye as well. Let's bevel. Scroll the mouse wheel and until we get something similar. Hold shift if you want to be more accurate. And let's move this down. Like so. Alright. Now let's see. I'm not sure if we should just keep it same or just make it a separate part. But just to make things complicated for ourselves, I was gonna add support loops here. Then should be able to set this, scale this. I'll make sure apply the scale. Select all the faces, press Alt Shift D, and now obviously it's a loop tool and circle, just my shortcut. And let's press E to extrude and extrude again. Press E, right click to take it back. We'll use Alt S to move the faces to the normal. One thing I want to make sure is to press Alt. And this keeps everything, especially if you see from the side view, keeps things even or yeah, even. Okay, this should be enough. So, and the top, I'll scale the top, move it like so. The geometry is moving a little bit down here, so let me just draw this. So it's like curved inside, like so. And to do this, we do want to have a smaller circle inside here. We already have one. Let's press E, scale, like so. Let's move this down, and also this edge down. Alright. Let's add edge loop here. Okay. Yeah, let's. I do feel like here it's a little bit going inside, then coming out. It's very, very subtle. So it's not very visible, but I do feel it. So let's add edge here and scale this inside. Not too much. Add the edge loop here to make it sharper. So let me just show you how this looks. Okay, so if I select these edges, remove them. It's very smooth, and when we add edge loops, it's gonna be sharper. Oops. Want to make sure it's on both sides. There you go. Perfect. And one here as well. Probably. Well, obviously I made this whole thing hard on myself, just because I want to share with you how to work with the topology. But honestly, if I was making this football table just to render it in a room, like a architecture visualization, I would definitely just do cylinder and just I wouldn't even use a subsurf modifier, because it's not something that I'm gonna look so close to. So that's what you should worry about, is how accurate you need your model to be. So if you're just gonna see it from far distance, I don't think you really need to worry about this. But since this is a modeling tutorial, just practicing, it's worth doing it, because I'm learning, or learning how to model faster. I do think it's too large, especially when I see it from a distance. Yeah, it's very large. Just scale this. If I scale it this way, it's gonna move from its original place. To avoid this, I'm just gonna scale this using active element. Is that what it says? Active element. And I'm just gonna select, make sure deselect or unselect and reselect this point, so it turns white. Now when I scale, it follows this dot, the active element. Now we can scale without worrying about its position. It's a good, nice trick there. Okay, now I think I should make it bigger. Okay, I think the top part should be smaller. Yeah, this part. Scale shift. Well, that should work. Okay, there you go. Oh, completely forgot about this part. This is a hole, I guess, and this is gonna be very interesting. Okay, let's get another angle. Probably very close look. Oh, come on. Just hidden with these looks like bolts or nuts. Very unique design. I wish I had a closer look to this. I'm pretty sure it's this is a hexagon shape, I guess. So let's make it Shift A, search for, let's do a circle, move this up, and well, before moving it, Shift A, circle, and I want to make sure I have 6 here, and probably, why not using cylinder? And what I like about cylinder is wait, let's press F9. Okay, thankfully I press 6, and okay, can change the radius. That's good. We can also change the type of cap, which I didn't know. So we can triangulate this, or Angon, or just nothing. So I prefer having nothing, and I also prefer to be thin. Well, sure, we could rotate this automatically, but that's fine. Let's move it at the correct location. and try to snap this to this. So obviously I can't do it correctly. That's from closest, switch this to, or turn this to center, and this way it's in the middle perfectly. I'll probably even snap it to this point. Right, let's back to closest, and now, okay. Scale this in the y-axis, press Shift Y so you can scale all the axes except for the y-axis, which is not what we are looking for. There you go. Okay. Let's symmetry to this part, and this one as well. Symmetry, and yeah, why not do the rest, because it's all symmetrical, I suppose. Because the origin is also in the middle, so supply scale, actually supply everything, all transformation, and symmetry on the other side. There you go. Perfect. Whew. I may finish this in another stream. I'm really getting tired. Let's see how long this stream is. 1 hour and a half. Well, that's a lot. It's gonna take another half hour. Probably just round it to 2 hours, and then I don't think I'm gonna finish this in half hour. So probably finish this in another stream. Alright, let's focus though. Let's focus on the modeling. So one thing to mention here. So this is really unnecessary, honestly, but just for the purpose of this tutorial, I was gonna do it anyway. So, okay. So that was really not smart from me. So I'll skip this part. So what I'm willing to do is to make a hole here with a hexagon shape. So basically we may use boolean, but that's not accurate. So what I'm willing to do is just select all these sharp edges, or simply press 3 and search for select sharp edges, and here we can press Shift E and then slide this up, or just right click and search for edge crease. There you go. And now when we apply the subset modifier, it's gonna keep all the edges sharp, which is a very good thing to do when you want to have more loops, more geometry, more so that this may help you in modeling. So one thing I do want to change is these edges that I added, extra edges, unnecessary at least for now. So let's remove them. This. Okay. Great. I think this should be enough, and just gonna back this folder. So instead of duplicating, I'm using an add-on mesh machine again, which is good, like a backup thing. And yeah, I don't have to duplicate every time. Just press X and stash it. There you go. I have this as a backup. I also use it as another thing as well. Another other cases. Okay. Well, let's see. Probably add bevel here multiple times. Okay, good. Just gonna subdivide this once. Let's see whether this is enough or not. These are unnecessary. And let's see. Okay, so we do wanna make a hole here. Let me show you what exactly I'm trying to do. This part is this hexagon thing is entering, I think it's a circular hole. Yeah, so to do this, it's easy, but Alt-Shift-D, and I want to make sure it's not flattened. There you go, looks cool. Let's do this inside, flat. That's if you want to make it a circle. And just select this loop here, and bevel. Press P all the way up, so I have the shape here to 1, and we are only using 2 segments. There you go. Let's move this vertex up and this one down, and let's see what we get. Hopefully get something cool, clean. Okay. Let's ignore crease. To ignore crease, we're just gonna disable this, use crease, and now we can just ignore the crease. Okay, definitely want to add support loops here, and here. Let's see what this looks like. Focusing on this part. Doesn't really look good for some odd reason. Alright, now it looks good. But we do have some issues. So let me just change the mat cap to this horizontal lines, vertical. Okay, as you can see, the vertical lines are good here, but when you go close to the this circle, you get some very weird distortion, we should call it, and it's happening before. Obviously, it should get distortion here because it's beveled, but it's happening here, which is not good. That's disgusting. Green color here. Yeah, it shouldn't happen. Yep. That's why I think let's use crease again, and let me show you a nice trick to avoid this thing. We obviously need more geometry, because that's what's causing all this. Let's say I add this edge here, or this. It doesn't really help. I heard that I don't know what we call this with the 5 edges, but they do work well with the I heard that they work good even though it's a quad, but I think it looks, yeah, they work good, these yeah. So I'm just gonna keep it as a quad because I'm just gonna apply the subsurf modifier later. Oh yeah, sorry, agree. Christopher, yeah, it's an Angon. Yeah, did I just call it quad? That's embarrassing. Okay. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, John said nice. Thanks, man. So it's an Angon, and yeah, we're just gonna keep it Angon because this will help us later. I'll explain why. So let's remove this red shading. Let's go back here. Well, that's better. My eyes are hurting. So let's remove these and remove this edge. There you go. Also want to remove all these edge supports. And like so. That's correct. Okay. And do we have triangles? Yeah, we do. And I don't need triangles. And let's see what we get. Okay. Want to make this sharp. Adding edge crease, and let's see the result. Okay. Let's do the same for this one. And you know what? Let's just remove this. This is really just getting on my way. So let's just remove this, and I'll fill it later using grid fill. Okay. Okay, what's left? What do we have? I just forgot what I'm about to do. Give me a sec. Alright, now I remember. So I'm just gonna get back my other old geometry, old object that I had. So let's retrieve it. Press R, I suppose. So, confirm, and now I have it. So what I'm going to do is just select the new one here. Select all the faces that are around this guy, this circle, and Control G and group it. Okay. And now I'm just gonna select this old object that we had, which has this perfect surface. I was gonna get all the or project the these faces to the old face that we had, the clean result that we had. This is hard to explain, so let me just show you. So another thing, I'm just gonna add more level to this, and now I'm lost. Yeah, I was about to hide this because it's on my way. This bounds. Oh, it's just a box, but it's there. Now I'm just gonna use the shrink wrap modifier, and with all the here, I'm just gonna keep the subdivision, and the target will be the other object that we had. But we do want to only affect all the faces that are around this circle. Christopher said, "Shrink wrap time." Absolutely. This is a trick I learned from what's his name? His name is CG something. Completely forgot his name. Just check him. I think CG Master, I guess. Yeah. There you go. Here is his channel. Just share with you the name of this guy. No. Okay. There you go. Can we... Sorry about this awkward moment. Okay. Control C, Control V. There you go. So this is the YouTube of the guy that that I referred to. He has some awesome tutorials, and yeah, just wanted to share this with you. The link is in the chat. Alright, let's carry on. Where were we? Alright. Mat cap. Yeah, I wanted to change the mat cap to this linear type. Okay, it's way better, and the more you add, the better it looks. And obviously, I think we could also project the normals. That should be also good. I honestly think it's enough. We could also inset this like so, but that's just a headache, and I don't think it's worth it, honestly. So yeah, it's definitely good enough. So let's apply the subsurf modifier, and as you can see, when I enable and disable the shrink wrap, there is a difference. I think I changed the shape of the object before. That's why we have some odd results. So before I apply shrink wrap, I was gonna select the faces, or maybe even before before subdividing. So let's select all these faces. Christopher. The shrink wrap technique is almost crucial to get a perfect result when modeling cars, specifically when cutting holes, etc. Absolutely, yeah. I absolutely agree. It's a very good way to decide how we want the topology to be, because sometimes you model something and then the topology doesn't work as you want, and with this way you just make a new topology, then you just project it on any surface you want, which is really amazing. And if you do low poly, you just project the normals instead of faces, or both. So yeah, works good as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna select all these faces, assign to another group, and just use that group instead of the other one. I think it's yeah, it should work better. Let's see. Yeah, probably we will have some issues on the top, so probably don't select all the faces, especially the top ones. Okay, it's a new group, and let's see how this group works. That's interesting. All right. I think it's way better than before. But I think I changed the shape, and that's why I'm having a mess here. So yeah. Anyways, so let's apply subsurf modifier, shrink, and let's select everything. Shift E, remove all the edge grease by making sure you put or your input is -1. And now let's add all the support loops. Alt R, press E and F, and there you go. Okay, I'm gonna just check the chat. Is there a way to render objects in the mat cap? Yeah, absolutely there is, and I'll show you right away. Christopher, I don't think so. Not vanilla, at least what's that? Would imagine there is some add-on for it, for it though. Yeah. No, there is a way to render matcap. I honestly don't remember the way, but let's give it a try since you mentioned it. And yeah, Let's use Suzanne. Oh, but before doing that, I'll make sure I'm in object mode. Let's use Suzanne. And apply this multiple times, add the subset modifier. And let's go to shading. Make sure I'm here, the material. Give Suzanne a new material. Shift A, search for normal. And no, that's not the one. For transform, vector transform, there you go. And they used normal, I think. Also used this. You know what, let me just refer you to the tutorial. There was a tutorial made by, I don't remember the name. Let me just search this for you.
Hey everyone, my name is David from...
Alright, so let me just share the YouTube channel with you. I know you can't see anything, but be patient. I'll share his YouTube channel. He has multiple tutorials. He has a, I think, playlist. Contains 3 or 6. There you go.
Hey everyone,
6.
my name is David from Lynamo Studio, and...
There you go. There's the playlist. Okay, I'm just gonna put the YouTube link in the description. And yeah. And yeah, that's the you can wow, this is a mess. Anyways, so he made a video explaining how to use how we can add something similar to matcap in shading, basically. But keep in mind it can't be affected by light, I think. Or maybe it could, but it would be very messy. So yeah, it's a good thing though. It's a good. I think it's the tutorial. It's part 3. Make sure to go to part 3, and you find the how he explains how to make this material. By the way, is everything black? No, you still can see blender. Okay. Okay, there you go, found it. Alright. Give me a second, guys. I'm just gonna mute myself. Alright. Well, sorry for not speaking all the time. The last 10 minutes. So I was checking it, and it looks like this. Should look like this. I don't know what's causing the probably scaling. Probably Suzanne is not correct scale or something. Maybe not. So definitely just play with these values. Probably play with the scale. If I keep it 1 or 0.5. 0.5. Yeah. Oh, sure. I'm not really sure how to get the exact result, but yeah, something like that. Definitely check the other video, like I shared with you in the comment section. I'm really out of topic right now, but I'm just curious how to achieve this result. Just link the material. Okay, now it makes sense. Alright. So definitely use this. And now I use 2 and 2. Alright. So here's 1. No? Yeah, no idea how that's not accurate. You're most welcome, John. Yeah, that's what I do. Share with people, and yeah, and learn from you as well. I learned a lot from you guys as well. Oh, there you go. Perfect. I think we got it. No idea what that means. Oh, it was the texture size. The size of the texture that I have, I guess. Maybe not, I'm not sure. So what if I set this to point and set this to 1? It's good to have a sphere here so you can see exactly what you... Yeah, here's the full thing, basically. Just take a screenshot, will be good to go. Yeah, just tweak these values. Yeah. Okay, let me just get this right before I go back to modeling. Okay, so... one. Yeah, you know what? I'll leave it in for another tutorial probably. Alright. Please don't crash. There you go. Alright, let's carry on. Even though it's getting boring, I think I'll just carry on. Oh, I just flipped it. Amazing. So let's just flip the whole thing. RC. I want to make sure the origin point is in the middle. Right. Or 180 degrees. And now we have this whole one thing. We do want to scale on the y-axis. Make it flat. There you go. Add support loops here as well. Just press Ctrl-Shift-G to grid fill this, and there are some settings we can tweak. Just hide all this. Yeah, there are some settings we can tweak. Can do offset, which basically turns the whole thing, and we can know how many. Like here we have 4 edges here. That's not what I'm looking for. So 6 probably should work. So we have 1, 2, 3, 5. You know what, let's see how many edges we have here to make it even. So I have 32 edges, and that means we have 8, 8, 8, 8. So yeah, let's do that instead. Another great thing is about the machine tools is that you can press 2 while selecting this edge loop. Press 2. This will automatically select all the faces inside this edge instead of manually selecting all these faces. It's a great way to select faces. I'm just gonna delete these faces. Just gonna, come on, select this edge loop and grid fill. I do have a shortcut. Just search for grid fill. F3 and search for grid fill. Or maybe right click. Probably find it somewhere. I'm just gonna type 8 and offset this. There you go, now it's even. Probably use simple blending. Should work good. Alright. Press I and I again. Scale. Q, apply Subsurf Modifier. And we need some support loops here. And the way I'm gonna do this is, well, give me more. Alright. Okay, I'm just gonna select all the necessary edges. These here. And there you go. And let's see. Okay, now I'm just gonna press Control B to bevel. I'll make sure the settings are set correctly. Here, make sure this shape is set to 1, segments to 2, and we are good to go. Clean topology and perfect results. Support loops here. Excuse me. Alright. Probably one here. And maybe we don't need this one. Yeah, the topology is not correct because I messed it up earlier. And let's try to clean this. Ooh, wait a moment. I want to make sure I have this set to median point. Before it was set to active element, which is not what we need. Alright. Alright, perfect. There you go. A perfect, unnecessary piece of metal, I think, and mixed with a piece of plastic. So I combined them together. Wow, amazing. So, let's see. Well, this spot is beveled very well. Just move this down. There you go. Symmetry. Oops. Change the origin point, obviously. So, Control A, apply transformation. Symmetry here. Symmetry there. And voila. Good. What about this one? I could keep it this could keep it just sharp, like it is. Well, let's select one edge, press F to fill. There you go. There you go. Let's yeah, isn't it very perfect, right? John. Oopsie. It's really satisfying when you apply the subsurf modifier and find that everything is clean and smooth and exactly how you want it to be. Which is very satisfying, actually. Alright, let's do the same thing for this part. By the way, sometimes I just can't zoom in, or let's say I want to look at this part here, this hexagon, and rotate around it, but I can't. So the best thing is you either select this part and then press, in my case, Alt-Z, but I think select here. There is, I have no idea. Oh, it's in view, local view. Should be somewhere around here. View origin. There you go. Frame selection selected. So basically, you just select anything you want to focus on, and just go to select. Go to view and just choose frame selected. I do have a shortcut, as you can see, Alt-Z. So I have this whole thing selected. So when I press Alt-Z, we'll focus on all of it. Let's say I don't want to unselect all this because it took me some time to select all these edges. But I still want to focus like I'm focusing now on this part. But before I wasn't. Here it's hard to rotate around this. So the trick is to hold Alt and click the middle mouse button. As you can see here in the shortcut, Alt, middle mouse. There you go, Alt, middle mouse. And this will focus on this area. And basically that's it. Alt, hold Alt, click. Zoom in a little bit, Alt, click middle mouse. Alt here, focus on this point. Alt, middle mouse here, focus on this place. This helped me a lot on, to not get confused on all this. There was also another way, but I can't remember it. It's in the top of my head. If I remember it, I will definitely share this with you. I'm just gonna bevel, do the same thing. It's gonna be sharp. It's very sharp, but nothing is so sharp in real life. So 0, 1, 0.04. Yeah, that's gonna work fine. Subsurf modifier 2, and make sure shade smooth. Sometimes it's not enough. And just symmetry. I'll hopefully share with you the all the add-ons that I use at the end of the video, so you can download them. Most of them are free. I think all the add-ons that I showed you are free. Maybe except from this one, where you stack your geometry, so you have a backup for your geometry. So if you change anything, you can find it later. That one is not free. Okay. Probably gonna mix or combine these together. Control J. Control S. Just gonna save this with another name. and save. Let's mirror this. There you go. Let's do some other interesting parts here, because all I was doing was boring. Alright, let's see. So the nuts and the bolts. Very famous parts and really awkward to make. Not really. When you learn how to make it, it's going to be very easy. So let's make this nuts or bolts. I have no idea what to name it. So we should start with a hexagon, and that should be probably a circle. We have 5 here. Need 6. There you go. Let's get it up. Press, select this edge, press F to fill, and extrude. Shift N, select everything, Shift N to recalculate normals. Maybe it's my shortcut, but if you press right click or click Alt N, now you have all the normals tools. Yeah, recalculate outside, and here we have recalculate inside. Yeah, I think they are set by default. Okay. Where's the other nuts? Okay, so it's not really clear. So maybe find another closer. Oh, that's this one maybe? No, that's for. Okay, I think this is as close as we can get, and I don't think they are similar. They are a little bit different, but it doesn't really matter at this moment. We just remove these edges. They are a little bit annoying. So this is flat, so I may want to keep this one. Okay, good. Now we have a circle here, we have this geometry. So how do we achieve this? So the first thing I do is subdivide a few times, and now we have at least 3 edges here inside. We don't need these, but we need those. So what I'm gonna do is press I to extrude, to inset, and grab this up. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Like so. Put this down. Okay, now we can press Alt Shift D as always. This is the circle, and make sure it's flat here. And there you go, we have something similar to this shape. Now we just need to add all the edge support loops. Here, press E, F multiple times, E, F, like so. And the same thing here. There you go. As for these edges, we just, or actually before adding support loops, I'm just gonna move these edges closer, so we can keep these sharp when we add subset modifier. John, nothing you did was boring. I'm only 3 months learning Blender. Cool to see how a pro does things. Thanks. Thank you. So I'm nowhere a pro, but yeah, I consider myself a intermediate 3D modeler. So I do think I'm missing the speed, which is very important. So that's what I need to improve myself in. And yeah, so 3 months into Blender. It's a good time actually. And yeah, we're in the right time where Blender is very developing quickly. So and also you're not in the confused times where Blender, like in Blender 2.7, which had this right click select and other odd stuff. Maybe it's odd for us, but yeah, it's hard to learn it if you're from using another software. But yeah, now it's a great time to learn Blender. I think it's a very great time. Wish you the best, by the way. And the best thing you can do is practice and try to solve things by searching. If you ever get stuck in modeling something, just also a good way is to, especially if you're doing modeling, low poly modeling and things like that. You want to know how good topology is. Just go through some of those modeling websites that sell models, like CG Trader or TurboSquid, where you can find models for sale. And then you can just go through the images that I have, like search for cars, and then they provide you an image with the, I think, wireframe. You can see all the edges, you can see all the topology of the models. So this is the way I learned how to create good topology. I see how other people do their topology. Also in Pinterest, if you search through Pinterest, you can find also, even though they are images, but you can learn how topology works. And yeah, and add all the YouTube tutorials online. Just gonna bevel this here. Just gonna weld these together. So probably do the same thing here. Oh, wait a sec. All right. Connect these here. Just gonna symmetry. Excuse me. Okay, I think I'm just gonna take another 10 minutes and just wrap this up, because I think I'm close to 2 hours. Let's see. Yeah, actually I passed 2 hours very well. Okay. Just gonna finish this bolt or nut and see our progress. I'll share with you the models at the end of, not the end of the tutorial because it's not done yet, but when I finish it, this model will be available on my website, ngonext.com. Yeah, for free, or you can give us a small support. If you have, of course. I would definitely appreciate it. Alright, I think we're done with this bolt. That's just a cylinder. So let's see how this looks with the Subsurface Modifier. Shade smooth. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Probably scale it inside a little bit. This should also So there you go. Perfect. Oh. There you go. That's good. That's good. Okay. So we'll finish the rest of the actually, before we finish this, just remove these faces, 4 faces, and just grid fill this. Control Shift G, grid fill, search for it if you want to. Offset, and yeah, it's perfectly round, very clear. Alright. Well, that's a big one. Alright. I'm just gonna place this, snap to face, and line rotation as well, and center. The origin is at the bottom, which is good, and let's just drag and drop it. Hold Control. There you go. Yeah, that's a little bit big. Oh, well, we do have this this face, invisible. So let's just go inside or simply hide this. Let's hide this, and then drag G, and then just drop this right here. Duplicate. I'll probably mirror this, but there's no need to mirror this. Let's change the matte cap to this. Save it. And yeah, a good progress. Probably very slow, but it's hard to model while explaining. And one thing I noticed was shade smooth here. Yeah, shade smooth here. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. So finish it in the next live stream tomorrow, God willing. And thank you everyone for joining and commenting. So see you in the next stream. Take care everyone.